and he turned a stick to like a snake. All the
He the one
magicians
who
like
turned
turned to
the
Allah,
stick
right?
to a snake? Oh, Allah is the one who did that.
He did it by the will of Allah. Like when I say, I'm not gonna go way
Can you
too
give me a verse?
deep into it, because I think you know what I mean when I say like he
No.
did it, but like
Can
he
you
It
did
doesn't.
it
It
by the
doesn't
will of
say.
Allah,
It
right?
doesn't say Moses did it, bro. He
I know
did.
he didn't do it. Like I don't have to
Okay.
like clarify. I know God did it, but
Yeah. So that's the
same thing
point
with
here.
Jesus. Also in the
The point
Quran, it
here is
doesn't
that
say Jesus
Jesus.
did it.
No, the point here is that Jesus is the one who created the bird.
Yeah, by the will of Allah. Just like how Moses created by the will of Allah. You know?
Be
And
sure. Be sure.
the reason those
Be
people,
sure. Slow down, please. Slow
my
down.
bad. Yeah, you said what?
Moses did not turn the stick into a snake. All he did was throw the stick.
Exactly. And it
Okay.
became
Yes.
a snake
And who's
by
the
the
one
will
who
of
did it
Allah,
though?
you know?
Who's the one who turned the stick into a snake? Because it doesn't say Moses did it.
God.
Very good. God did it.
Yeah.
Here, and when it came to Jesus and the bird, Jesus says, "I create for you a bird from clay, and I
Yeah.
breathe life into it, and by
Mm-hmm.
Allah's permission, it becomes a bird." So
Mm-hmm.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus
You
is the
just
one
said it.
who
You just
Yeah,
said
no.
it.
So
You can
Jesus is the
blow air
one who
into it. You can do
creates. Come on,
whatever,
brother. You
but
got
by
to
the
help
will
me.
of
You got
Allah.
to help me out. You got to listen, man.
My bad. You said what?
So by the permission of Allah, Jesus created life.
Mm-hmm.
Moses didn't do that.
Well, the stick became life, you know, by becoming like turning into a
I
snake. That's
understand,
life.
but you're missing the point again. I understand that the stick became life. It became a snake.
Right.
Moses
You just
didn't
said it
do that.
didn't. It didn't become life.
All right, so be sure. I'm gonna need you to. I need you to listen, brother, because you're not
Mm-hmm.
listening.
No,
Can you
I'm
listen?
listening. I'm listening. Yeah.
Okay, I'll say it again because I feel like I was pretty clear. So I need you to listen, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Moses threw the snake.
Mm-hmm.
It does not say though that Moses turned the stick into a snake. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the one who turned the stick into a snake is Allah. He did it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Moses just threw it. He didn't turn the stick into a snake.
Mm-hmm.
Understand?
Yeah.
So
Of
there's a
course.
difference between Moses simply just throwing the snake and it becomes throwing the stick and it becomes a snake without
Yeah.
Allah doing that versus Moses himself turning the stick into a snake. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With Jesus, he creates the bird from clay. He actually did it. He says, I create for you a bird from clay and
Mm-hmm.
I breathe life into it. And it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a living bird by Allah's permission.
Yeah.
So by Allah's permission, Jesus creates life.
Exactly. Yeah. And I
So
agree
okay,
100%.
good.
You need to understand that at the time of Jesus, many prophets before him came to the people of Israel to spread the word of God, right? And many of them were killed and like crucified, just like Jesus, right?
They
And
weren't crucified.
like not
Only Jesus.
crucified, my bad, but like they were killed, right? And what's it called? And Jesus was one of them who got killed. And the reason why he did all those miracles and more than Moses did, more than the Prophet Muhammad did, right? Peace be upon all of them. The reason he did more miracles because it was harder for them to accept them like as a true Messiah. If the Jews accepted Jesus
But
as a true
we're not worried
Messiah, we
about the
wouldn't be
why
here,
though,
you know?
Bisho.
Like we will all
Bisho.
believe
Bisho.
in
We're not
yeah.
worried. We're not discussing whether the Jews believed it. That's not the issue here. The
Yeah.
issue here that's being talked about is how you said that Allah is worthy of worship because he created life. So
Mm-hmm.
Stephen's point is, okay, so then why don't you worship Jesus? Because he created life as well.
He created it by the will of Allah. So I worship the one who gave him permission to do that, you know? I
But it
don't
shows that Jesus is worthy of worship for creating life,
Of
right?
course he's worthy. I'm not saying he's not worthy. I love
Worthy of
Jesus,
worship.
right?
Worthy of
I love
worship.
and respect Jesus, right?
Well, no, you're missing it. Worthy of worship because
Yeah.
he created life.
Now I won't say he's worthy of worship. I will say he's worthy of like treating him the same as any other prophet, right? I don't treat him worse. I don't treat
That's
him
what I'm saying.
different. I just don't.
You said that Allah is worthy of worship because he created life.
Yeah.
So Jesus, by that logic, Jesus is also worthy of worship because he created
But that's
life.
the thing. You're not understanding. You know, he didn't create it by himself,
It
did
doesn't
he?
matter if he. It doesn't matter if he created by
He's
himself
worthy of it.
or
He got to
whatever.
do. He did the miracle, but it doesn't mean he created it all by himself. If he
So
did create it
there's
all by himself,
there's two
that shows
creators
he's
of
a god, right?
so there's
But
two
he's
creators of
not.
life, right?
You said what?
You got two creators of life. You got Allah and you have Jesus now, right?
Mm-hmm. No,
So
no.
in
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So in Islam you have two creators. You don't just have one.
No, we still only have one because, like I said, he wouldn't have been able to do it without the permission of Allah, right?
That's not true
You
at
can't.
all.
What do you mean?
Giving permission is not giving ability. So
Of course it is.
he
Of
can
course,
only do
in the
something if he
sense
has
of
ability.
Allah, you know, like you have to understand Allah is way like more powerful and way like beyond our understanding than we
You're
can like
missing it.
comprehend, right?
If you don't know how to drive, but I give you permission to drive my car, does that mean that you now have the ability to drive my car?
Of course not, right? I'm gonna give you
Right.
that, right? Of
So
course not. But
permission
once I start
and
driving
ability.
and learning it,
Permission
you know,
permission
I'm
and
gonna be able
ability
to
are
do
two
it.
different things, Bisho. Permission
Yeah.
and
But
ability are
yeah.
two different things. So
But
Jesus gets permission to do something because he has the ability to do it. He just does it at Allah's command.
well, that's a good point, right? That's a very
Mhm.
good point. But I would still tell you, at the end of the day, you did the example with the car, right?
Mhm.
And that's a good example. But if you gave me the car and you give me the responsibility, everybody can drive at their own pace. Like the first time I drove
But
was
they
like
don't
a
have
month
the
ago,
ability
right?
to.
And I was able to like do better than some people that be like practicing for months, and it was my first time, right? So
Brother, what does that got to
Jesus
do with what we're
is
talking
something
about?
so special. He could do it just like by the first time, right? He's able to comprehend and do it and
Be sure.
like perfect it by the first time, you know?
What we've understood is that Jesus has the ability to create life. He just does it when Allah gives him the permission to do it. Like you have the ability to drive a car,
Well,
but you don't
by
drive
that
my
sense,
car until
you
I give you
know,
permission.
yeah. Well, by that sense, Muhammad could have done the same thing. If he ever needed to prove himself as a prophet and do a miracle, he would have been able to do it at any time, right? He would have
He
been
wasn't
able to
able to.
say,
That's why he didn't do any miracles.
what do you say?
He wasn't able to. That's why he didn't do any miracles. He
He
said
split the moon in half. That's a miracle.
he did not split the moon. The Quran doesn't say that, bro.
It says it in the hadith. So
Also, the Quran, I mean, the Hadith going against the Quran then. Because
no, it's just not everything. Like for example, the
the
way we
Quran
pray,
says that the split
like
moon is the split moon is a sign of the hour. That's what the split moon is supposed to be, not an actual miracle that the moon actually split that Muhammad did.
that's different. That's
That's
when
not what
like
the Quran says.
what's it called? When you have a half moon and when the sun like rotates and all that stuff, right? For the calendar and stuff. But I don't know too much about that, right? But I'm saying actual like split it like in the middle of the night. It was like a full moon and he split it in half.
You know
That's something different.
that goes against the Quran. The Quran says that Muhammad is just a warner, and
He's a what?
yeah, that he's just a warner, that he just comes to bring the message.
Yeah, of course.
And
And
then when it comes to
that's
the
the
split
thing. When
moon,
he has to
hold
prove
up,
himself.
Bishop, please.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I need you to listen.
Yeah.
When it comes to the splitting of the moon, the verse says, "Behold, look, the hour is nigh. The hour is near, and the moon is split asunder." So the moon splitting is supposed to be a sign of the hour. It's not
Yeah.
some miracle that Muhammad did. Okay, so if I know that the hadith talks about Muhammad splitting the moon, and it draws from this verse. I'm telling you, that hadith is going against the Quran. It's
Well, it can
contradicting.
because it was verified, and there's many
Well, it
things
wasn't.
that yes it was, and also there are many things that are in the Quran, that are in the Hadith, and that are verified and that people know are true. You know, there are
Okay.
many Hadiths that are around there that are like popular and everybody quotes them, but they're not true, right?
With all of this,
But one of them was like, for example, how to pray. In the Quran,
okay,
it doesn't say how we should pray, but in the
Bishop,
Hadith, it does.
I
You
know
know?
we're getting away from the point, brother. So I do like stay focused on the point. The point is that within Islam, you now have two creators of life. You have Jesus, and then you have Allah. That's two creators.
Yeah, that's what you believe, but like I said,
That's what
you
the
wouldn't have
Quran
been able
says.
to do it. No, it doesn't. It says by the will of Allah, and that makes a huge difference. You know, it
It
just
says by
can't.
the permission of Allah, not His will.
Yeah,
Permission. Those are two different things. So you
by
can't
His
you can't have,
permission.
you can't have.
So,
So unless if you want to say that there's still only one creator, then that must
yeah.
mean that Jesus and
Well,
Allah are
well,
one and the
first of
same.
all, you know, the Quran is in Arabic, right? And I speak Arabic, and I know the
What does this have to do?
translation.
What does this
Like,
have to do with what we're
whenever
talking about? What does this have to do with what we're talking about? See,
I want
you
to
keep
tell you,
getting you don't have to tell me this.
the
That's
translation can
irrelevant.
never be 100%. That's why we also think
Bisha,
that
you said you know
with the
Arabic,
yeah.
so read the verse in Arabic and tell us if it's any different.
I'm on my phone, so I can't like go to it, but
It's exactly the same in Arabic. Jesus says, I make for you a bird from clay, and I breathe life into it, and by Allah's permission, it becomes a bird. So you have Jesus creating life with Allah's permission, and then you
yeah,
have Allah also who creates life.
yeah. And
How
by the
many creators
permission,
of how many creators
of
is that?
Allah, also the
How
stick
many
that Moses had
creators?
and
How
threw
many creators is
became
that now, Bisho?
still one. That's but
So
listen, I
Jesus
don't
and
want to
Allah
like.
are one?
I feel like we're not. No, I still believe what I believe,
Well,
but I feel like we're not. Uh,
I just need this because I'm a simple guy, man. I'm a
yeah,
simple
me too.
guy.
I just want peace, you know. I just want to
I
like
just read
talk and understand,
verses.
you
Oh
know.
my
Like
goodness.
I just want to like.
I just
Nah,
read
you laughing?
verses.
I mean it, you know. Like I just want to like.
Be show. I just read verses and I use my comprehension skills
Yeah.
and I just let the verses speak. It
Uh
says that Jesus creates life and
huh.
Allah also creates life. How many creators is that?
He doesn't create life. It says by the permission of Allah. That's a huge difference, you know. But I feel like
Take care of yourself.
we're not gonna agree on that.
Buddy.
So I just want to like.
Yeah.